What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be putting a winch on the trailer. But first, I wanted to announce we've got some Andy's Auto merch now. We got a hat, a shirt, a sticker, a coffee mug, and even a hoodie. You can find these items listed below the video, or you can go to my channel page and you can find them under the store section. If you're interested in supporting the channel while also getting some pretty cool gear for yourself, go ahead and check those out. Now back to the video. So in order to get this car down off the trailer while it has no brakes and no engine and basically nothing working on it, we're going to need to use a winch, I think, and I'm going to use the winch kind of in the opposite way that you normally would. Instead of pulling it up, we're going to put some tension on it with the weight of the car, and then we're going to lower it down that way. And this winch has definitely seen better days, and I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how to use this thing. I mean, I can see the battery cables, and there's this little alligator clip you could potentially move to a different spot, but I don't see a switch or anything as far as forward, reverse, none of that kind of stuff. And we also got a brand new winch for it. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing off and try to fit the new one. And also, before I put the new one on, I'm probably going to redo the front little triangle section of this with some rust inhibitor. I'm eventually going to do the entire trailer in black like that, but I don't want to mount that up and then risk something getting all over the new winch. So I'm going to go ahead and start unbolting this thing. Alright, we got her taken off of there fairly easy, just a ratchet and a couple sockets, and it came off no problem. I'm actually very surprised. I thought I'd have to fight and struggle with those bolts, but they actually came off pretty easily. So this little part of the trailer, I bet, hasn't seen the light of day for decades. So we're going to clean up this little triangular area on the front with some I think I'm going to try that Eastwood stuff, because I've seen some pretty good reviews, and in the videos you can just paint it on whatever and it looks really nice afterwards, and that'll save me a lot of hassle with this trailer and make it look a lot nicer. So we're going to redo that little platform there, and we may end up having to drill a couple different holes depending on how the holes line up for the new winch that I got. But otherwise, we should be really close to being able to mount the new one. The one we got going on here, the Badland 9,500 pound winch with the upgraded wireless remote control switch, so we can control it from the winch or inside the vehicle that we're loading or unloading using the wireless remote. That way you can control the steering wheel if needed at the same time. Alright, so here we are, a few days, maybe even a week later. We got some of that Eastwood rust encapsulator. So we're going to just kind of loosely scrape this whole front triangular area with a wire brush, and then I'm going to spray it down with some brake cleaner, wipe it off with the rag, and we're going to go ahead and brush on some of that Eastwood. Alright, here we are a little while later. Got that whole front end covered there. And I guess it's supposed to kind of settle on its own and flatten out or whatever. So we'll see what it looks like when it's totally dry. But I must say it went on pretty good, and definitely looks a hell of a lot better than the old rusted up white color, and that stuff should hopefully keep it from rusting ever again. And it says to top coat it if it's exposed to direct sunlight, which, since it's a trailer and it stays outside, it likely will be. But I'm debating if I want to spend all that extra money to go over and paint it afterwards, because I think it's going to look pretty good in this, and I'm going for black anyway. So I'm not 100%. Maybe I'll just buy a couple cans of black paint and spray paint just the top of the trailer instead of the sides and all that, just because that's the main part that would be hit with the sun anyway. But very hyped on how it looks. Hopefully not too long and the whole trailer's gonna look like that. But now we're finally able to mount up the new winch. Got my son out here helping me get some more of this trailer covered in that east wood. Probably not gonna do this, I'm not sure yet. I may end up just replacing that with new just to make it look a little better and then go over that, because we're definitely gonna be replacing the wood. But man, that stuff looks pretty damn good, I'll tell you what, especially compared to that rusted white color. Make sure you're getting it spread out good, all right, buddy? Looking good. So I don't know if you noticed before, but when the old winch was on there, the cable was only off to the right side here, so it would have never interfered with the jack. But since our new winch is centered, the jack is going to be in the way. Luckily, we have this other spot right here. Say hello. Hi. We have this other spot right here, and this is where the jack may have been at one point. But anyway, it wasn't level right here because it looks like my grandpa shoved this in there and welded around it and maybe welded up here. And I think when he did that, he may have had to cut this out or something. And so anyway, it wasn't really level for this hole as it was with those. And so I went ahead and took a grinder and leveled that out. So the next thing I need to do is kind of grind this out and hopefully not interfere too much with the weld that's inside there. But I want to cut this piece out so it's basically a circle again. And then we'll put the jack from right here to over here. And then of course before I do that, I'm going to put some more of that east wood in this little section here. And then we'll definitely be ready to put the winch on after we drill a couple holes, of course. Alright, so here we are again, quite a few days later, definitely over a week later I think. And I finally ground out this area using a Dremel and a cutting wheel and a few other different tools. I tried grinding it, but that didn't seem to work. So here we are with this. I went ahead and put some JB weld on there because there was a minor little surface crack from where it was cut before. I think my grandpa, when he put this in here, he may have cut these two and like folded it up or something. So I just wanted to make sure that little minor crack was sealed. I went ahead and put some in there as well, just make sure them two pieces stay together as much as possible. And then also just to further reinforce this, I have to drill a hole right here. These two are fine, but this one has this piece of metal kind of blocking the hole, so I have to drill down through it, and I'm going to end up having to put a nut on the bottom side, but these ones should be able to just bolt in. But anyway, this will be, you know, welded on, as well as having one bolt that kind of reinforces it all together. And I did go ahead and place the jack in there and fit it, and it should be good to go. So all I really got to do is wait for that JB weld to dry, and we're going to do some touch-ups here and here with that Eastwood. And then I am definitely ready at that point to go ahead and mount up the winch. I guess I should also mention, even though it was quite a pain to do, I did get the new holes for the winch drilled in the exact spots where we're going to have it mounted. And it's going to be pretty centered. That fair lead, or whatever they call it, is going to be kind of sticking off just a tad bit. But I don't think that's going to be a problem at all with the jack out of the way. And then of course that's going to look a lot better once we cover that with some Eastwood as well. And then I think what I'm probably going to do is either bolt it here or maybe even up here on the wood. But I kind of want to put some sort of pulley on there to kind of route the cable up so that it never goes lower than the pulley, because I may have mentioned this before, but it does step up twice from where the winch is going to be mounted. Once at the front of the trailer there, and then once again where the wood is at. So we'll have to figure that out as we go, but we're nearly at the point where we can actually put this thing on. All right, we got it touched up with that east wood. Got that front hole drilled a little bigger so I can put a bolt and a nut through it. And then it should be good to go once that stuff dries. I really do wish that it would keep the shiny or glossy look to it after it dries, but no big deal. We can maybe put something else on top, coat it with something to give it a little more shine. But we're getting closer and closer, nearly there. All right, so we finally got this jack moved over to the front mounting location. I must admit, it was kind of a pain in the ass to get the nut on the bottom side. I had to raise it up and come in through the front there, but we finally got the jack on. Say hi.
Hi, viewers.
So anyway, we got the jack on, and I went ahead and put some east wood right there as well, just kind of in the direct line of the winch cable, because I really don't want to risk getting any of that stuff on the winch later. I want most of that to be done. I don't think some of this on the side's going to matter too much, but I just wanted all that directly in front of the winch to be taken care of. If I didn't mention that already, we went ahead and got some new bolts as well. There's some of the old ones. In fact, I got the third one in my pocket right here. I'm gonna set those to the side and keep them. Might even put them back in these holes right here just in case I ever decide to do a double jack or some shit like that. I don't know, but anyways, we're pretty much ready to go ahead and put this winch on at this point. All right, we got them 4 bolts in there. Got it up, mounted up finally. Had to waller out the holes a little bit that I drilled because they weren't quite centered, but I'm happy we finally got her on there. That's what it looks like. And you guys can kind of see where that fair lead might be a little too low, so that's kind of why I might want to put a pulley or something. Yeah, say hi.
Hi, viewers. Please like and subscribe so we can get 100K.
All right. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and mount up the control box for it now. All right, guys, here we are the next day. I pretty much got all of this put on there last night, but it was getting kind of dark and my phone was a little too dead to film. But we got everything mounted up. We got the control box put on. So this left wire goes to the first ground spot right here that my finger's on. And then the second wire goes over here to the power. And then the third wire is going to connect to the battery once we get one. And then the fourth wire is right here. There's a yellow. And then the fifth wire is this ground. You can kind of see. And I certainly wish that I would have put this on before installing this, because it was a pain in the ass to get that nut on there with that little space. I actually had to have my son help me do it. And unfortunately, I had to do it all over again because that small wire right here is also supposed to go on there. So I kind of screwed that up, unfortunately, but nothing we can't come back from. And unfortunately, my mom's been kind of blowing leaves around here for me, and we got a bunch of dust all over it. Tried to clean it off best I could, but it still looks good though. Looks real good. You need some new headlights for your vehicle? How about some turn signals? Some that are actually very bright. Click the link in the description below and check out Auxito LEDs. And if you use code AndysAuto, you'll get 15% off your order. Now back to the video. Alright, so we got everything hooked up here. Had to get some battery terminal ends. So
So we got the negative there. Unfortunately, the positive, I'm gonna have to make the hole on that ring terminal a little bigger so it actually fits on the stud. So it's on the side one there. And it's not really fully tightened up or anything right now. But if we go ahead and turn the power on from the battery, would you mind just kind of pulling on that? So with that being pulled, we'll plug in the main connector first. All right, so we got the remote plugged in. We're gonna hit out. All right, and then we'll go back in. Very nice. Now let's try the wireless one. All right, so now we got the wireless module plugged in, same way as the main remote. We'll go ahead and hit out. And then we'll go ahead and go back in. All right, looks like it works pretty good. We are gonna have to go ahead and put a couple brackets underneath here. And I wanna put a battery box in that hole. Obviously, we're gonna need a smaller battery, and I'd like it if all of this stuff fits in the battery box as well. But I think we're gonna call it finished for the winch installation for this video. I'll probably go ahead and do a follow-up video when everything gets finished up and finalized with a battery box. And I still may end up putting some kind of a pulley system up there to ensure that the cable never interferes with this and that for the two step-ups there. But I'm hyped we finally got the winch done. Been quite a long time coming. Badland all finished up. And that's going to be the end of the video for today, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Super hyped we got that hooked up and ready to go. Now we're going to finally be able to lower the Lincoln down off the trailer, and we'll be able to get the engine pulled out. So stay tuned for many more videos to come. Please leave a like and a comment below and let me know what you think about my winch installation. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And otherwise, I'll see you next time.